Hello, it's a Monday and the time is, of course, it's just gone 2, which is why I've just shut down Shortcut, the video editor, because I've been editing for 2 hours and I feel it's time for a drive. didn't. So and whilst I was watching that, I was transferring files, and then when that happened, I then uninstalled DaVinci Resolve and reinstalled Shortcut. And I was going great guns, really. But the thing is, there's always problems, isn't there? The problem I had was with the camera. Oh, that reminds me. Samsung is, any mobile phone's fine, as are computers. What am I talking about? What was he talking about? I'm talking about the clock, and that the clocks went back on Sunday morning, and I mentioned it in yesterday's video, which I'm currently editing. Isn't that strange? And blah 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 blah. Sorry. Yes, so right, the clocks went back an hour. I changed it. I changed the thermostat because it's manual. I don't have to worry about the mobile phone, like computers. It adjusts itself. But the car, which is when I said that reminds me, I haven't changed the car yet. So I haven't well, this is the thing. I forgot to change the time on the Canon camera. So can you see where I'm going with this? Well, the Samsung I use to record this dash cam footage. Oops, break the fourth wall, sorry. I use the Samsung to record the dash cam footage. And also it acts as the external microphone. Canon, I just use it for video, nothing else. So, the problem was this morning I was doing a file transfer, and when I sorted the files into modified date, let an elderly couple pass by foot, not by car. So it's pot luck sometimes, or does it come naturally to me to just turn out of a side street into a main road? transferred all the files into a folder on my, well, onto the USB drive, flash drive. And yes, I was saying earlier, wasn't I, before I turned off the road, that I sorted the files by date modified. I prefer that to date created. It's something technical. And of course, it was the files were, and you know, the Samsung external microphone files were an hour behind. No, I tell it, it's the other way around, sorry. The Canon camera video files were an hour behind the Samsung audio files, the external microphone files. So that was a bit alarming. That sort of delayed me and threw me into a little panic, because I'd come off of, well, I like to have things in their order so I could just group them and move them into the software. But this time it was a bit, what with the dash cam footage as well, and it just so happened that yesterday's video wasn't a very long one. I think I wrapped it up in half an hour. So therefore, I had a video file after the dashcam footages and an audio file before the dashcam footages. So it sort of it was very delicate, and then of course the software was playing up. What I did was, I've been meaning to do it for ages. I've gone back onto Google Chrome as well, and I know it takes a lot of memory, but it's they've put some sort of restriction on the YouTube page, well, like for edge users. So I thought, well, okay, I'm as patient as I can be, but it just takes so long using another browser than Chrome to open a Google page like YouTube. It's almost as if it detects the browser. If it's not a Chrome one, then it puts it like a 10-second delay on it, forcing people to download Chrome, which is what I've done now. But I thought, well, I've got Shortcut. Shortcut is a light package compared to DaVinci, so the two should work okay. But anyway, I had some issues with Shortcut. Not technical, well, there was a technical issue. I couldn't drag things onto the timeline. It was forbidding me, so that just needed a restart, so it fixed it. But it got me thinking about whether I was able to do it in the first place. So it had me doubting. Anyway, so what happened with the Shortcut? Nothing really. It was okay. It's just trying to manage these files into order. I thought if I drag all the files onto the timeline, then I can sort of edit them in one go, linearly, even though it's a non-linear editor. So task, because I couldn't figure figure out. I didn't realise when I was doing it that there was an issue with the order of the files because of the hour delay, and so it sort of delayed things, and I got a bit agitated. But in the end, it's funny again. Oh, I don't know. I put all the files on there, including the dashcam files, and then very busy. Very busy. Very busy. This is it. This is it, boys. This is war. This is what we've been fighting for. The president is on the line. 99. Luftballon. Right. So, all the files. Yeah, put the dashcam files on there, as well as the Canon files. Canon folder. With my monologue. Jeez. Crikey. The more I delay, the more I'm going to forget what I'm talking about. It's getting misty in here as well. Misty on the outside, misty on the inside. Right, oops, that's it, it's gone out of my head now. I have to fetch it. It's gone beyond my grasp. No, it's coming back. Yes, I put the dash cam footage onto the timeline, and I figured, yeah, it was me. I was pressing Ctrl+I because I wanted it in DaVinci Resolve. Ctrl+I means you can insert a file. I'm going to do something about this. Of course, I pressed Ctrl+I thinking because I want to insert some file, and the only time I do that is when I've downloaded music files from the Google Audio Library. And of course, Ctrl+I doesn't mean anything to shortcut. Well, it doesn't mean insert, it means something else. So I lost my files. The dashcam files disappeared off the timeline. So I had to reinsert. So it's all fun and games, you know. To me, being really absent-minded. Control-I. What I was supposed to do was press V. The V means insert, because I need to put a gap between two clips. So I was. This is called. yeah, so it's because there was one scene before was dissolving out, and the scene afterwards is dissolving in. You need a gap. I had to insert a dummy file which I removed so that it creates this gap. Basically, it's all technical stuff. And because I press Ctrl+I, this is what happens when you keep changing video editors. The shot key, you're using the wrong shortcut keys. Anyway, when it was going on okay, and I was getting into the rhythm, and I thought, well, it's 2 o'clock. It's now the clocks have gone back an hour. Oh, I've got to change the time on the car's clock as well. Because what I just read out to you, did I read out a time in the car? I did I? No. If I did, just deduct an hour. So, where I'm driving, it's all good fun. Sorry about that, a bit of a delay. Again, I had to take a left at the traffic lights. So there you go. When the 2 hours was up, I thought it was time to get out. So I've gone back too far in my story. Sorry. What I meant to say was, because the days are shorter now, if I don't get out now, I'll be coming home in the dark, which isn't a bad thing, but I don't have the dash camera isn't that good with the low light. Big roundabout. So yeah, that's where I'm out driving now. And then I go back and edit for another couple of hours, usual thing. Edit for a couple of hours and then break for the second episode of Stranger Things. At the end of the first episode, I was beginning to feel tired. I couldn't manage a second episode. It's I do like the characters and the setting, and yeah, it's very watchable. The kids are quite good as well, good performers. I don't know if it's, I think it's, the kids are more like the kids out of E.T. than the kids out of the Goonies. Basically, it's realism, you know. These are how kids talk. So you can't sugarcoat it. So it's not just fantasy. It's I think it's therefore the kids who are watching it, who are the same age, can sort of relate to it. I don't know, but I just like that time in the 80s when there was Goonies. I keep talking about Goonies, and I only saw Goonies for the first time, I think last year. But I like the idea of these Indiana Jones type films, which have Spielberg's fingerprints all over them. direct the Goonies, but he produced it. And I think in the trailer it said produced by Steven Spielberg, as if he directed it, you know. Who directed it? Was it Joe Dante or Chris Columbus? Forgot about the Goonies. So I couldn't manage a second episode of. I couldn't manage an assistant. Don't repeat yourself. Second episode of Stranger Things. Don't know what time it was. It must have been bedtime because if I'm tired and I keep my eyes open. So I have to go straight back to bed. I had finished the edit by 9, which was good. Using DaVinci Resolve, admittedly. And also today, every Monday, I don't know if I mentioned this, I've got a list of things that I search for on Sky. Steven Soderbergh. Oh, that reminds me. There's something else that reminds me. Steven Soderbergh, Stanley Baker, Herbert Lom, Deadwood the movie. I search for these things. Unfortunately, unlike Virgin, you can't create a wish list. You have to do a manual search every week. So I've got this list, and I did it again. I downloaded Netflix onto my app, onto my mobile phone, so that when I do a search on there as well for the same things on the list, I can actually use the microphone. It saves me typing it in. And on Netflix there was a Shot in the Dark, which is a Pink Panther film with Herbert Lom, and Spartacus. He's in Spartacus, Herbert Lom. I remember, yeah, he was in Spartacus. He was in Spartacus. Somewhere in the third act. He appears later on in the film. I think he's some sort of merchant. But yeah, anyway, Soderbergh had a few things. Or did he? Yeah, he had I think he had a play. He had I think it's a play on Netflix, a series, I mean. And it's based on a basketball team, I think at a college or community centre. It's a youth, I believe it's a youth basketball team. Although it may not even be about basketball. I just, from the clips I've seen, it's on a basketball court. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called High Flying Birds. Or words of that ilk. So I found that on Netflix and I've added it to a watch list, like Now TV. I found lots of things on that. Just by searching my list, I found lots of things. even an obscure Denzel Washington film called The Mighty Quinn from the late 80s, mid 80s. What else? What surprised me though, something else. In fact, before it surprised me, going back to the Sky TV, I did a search on Halloween. It's one of the words on my list, and I said this in a previous vlog that we have in the UK we have a horror channel, and Halloween 2. No, Halloween H2O, which I mentioned as well because of that vlog about Halloween recently, is on telly, but I don't think it's on the horror channel. I think it's on Sony channel or TCM. But Halloween 3, the odd one out, which has nothing to do with Michael Myers, I believe, is on the horror channel. Sorry, spittle. In a few days. So I've added that. But strangely, there's no Halloween films on Netflix. And when I looked on Wikipedia, there were countless Halloween films. There have been reboots of a Halloween film and a sequel, as well as the original Halloween and its sequel. And there are various sequels. There's The Return of Michael Myers and these are all Halloween films I want to see, you know. Let's speed up. But Netflix didn't have any of the countless Halloween films out there. But I added a lot of stuff. Oh my gosh. Let's say 2 Herbert Loms for starters. Lots of stuff to watch. Lots of stuff to watch, yeah. So when I get back, as soon as if I can get this, I don't think it's much of yesterday's video. Shouldn't take too long. I should have it exported in about 4 hours time, hopefully. And then I can start watching Stranger Things. Soderbergh. I saw Laundromat yesterday. Oh yeah, there's something from the last video that I'm supposed to tell you about. So I keep talking in riddles. So yeah, I saw Laundromat. That's by Steven Soderbergh, based on the Panama Papers. I think I mentioned that in the last video, because I remember mentioning Meryl Streep and Anthony Banderas was in it. feel like I'm editing as I speak. Not literally, but figuratively. So I'm actually driving. Forgive me. My attempts at humour goes out by miles. So yeah, Soderbergh. Lots of things to watch. Anything else? Oh yeah, a couple of Gerard Depardieu's on Netflix. I think he's in a series called Marseille. So that looks intriguing. I don't think it's a historical piece, I think it's modern politics. I don't know, I've got a clue what it's about. And also a comedy, I think. Another comedy one. So that's it really. Nothing. It's Monday. That means University Challenge is on later. Only Connect. It hasn't rained yet. It's supposed to probably rain later. The clouds are gathering. Cleverly, V, you see, is like an arrow pointing down, like you're going to insert something between two words. Keep speeding past here. The camera didn't flash. Yeah. So it's another Monday in Eastbourne. Just got back and I'm at the desk. It's 4 o'clock, so hopefully I'll have this wrapped in 2 or 3 hours. So 6-7 o'clock it should be exporting, and I'll be sitting down watching the second episode of Stranger Things. So without any delay, I'm going to commence. I forgot to change the time on the car. I just remembered something else about yesterday to do with Netflix. Oh, and going back to... No, I think I touched upon it. The Last of Sheila, that was going to be remade by this person who instead made Murder Mystery, and it starred Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. I think I commented on it yesterday because I said it was too silly. It made me think about my theory on comedy, in that you have to play comedy seriously for it to be funny. And it didn't work in this film because David Williams, he played it completely straight. No, well, the whole cast, even a BAFTA winning actor, they all hammed it up, you know, except for David Williams, which is, if you know David Williams, he does seem to, in real life, he camps it up, you know. But in this, he's completely straight, and it doesn't work. He's not funny, he's not effective at all. It's you're left, you know, stunned, really. So yeah, I think I mentioned it yesterday, didn't I? That there were only two similarities between the two films: the yacht and South of France. I think those were the only two. And I gave my verdict yesterday. I forgot, when I was in the car, I forgot I'd given my verdict on it. And I just remembered now that I hadn't done it, and then I remembered as I'm talking that I had done it. So this is completely... It's not totally irrelevant, but in case there was a follow-up from last time, I brought it back into the... I played on when I should have left it alone. Right, so I think I'm getting towards the end of the vlog here. So maybe in an hour it should be exporting. We'll see. Right in the middle, beautiful.
1 in 10. You say so. You say so. Down here. It says what it says.
Oh, I've just a second kicked off the export for yesterday's video. It's quite cold at the moment. I'm thinking about putting a fire on. So it is quite cold. Maybe I should start wearing my not thermals, but my woolly tracksuit. Anyway, I thought, now I kicked it off, I can put the telly on and have some music and background noise. And went to YouTube. So there's Netflix have done a exclusive clip, and I watched it. And of course, I just saw the date at the end. What's the problem? Well, you know, I've got this Netflix pass, and this film's going to be on Netflix on the 27th of November. And guess what day my pass runs out? On the 26th of November. They know what they're doing, these Netflix people, don't they? They give you a 3 months pass before this. This is the most anticipated film, I think, coming out by Netflix. It's going to be the cinema for about 2 weeks. Well, from the 7th, I believe. Was it the 2nd to the 27th? That's in America. In Europe, it's I think from the 7th. And then on the 27th, it'll be available on Netflix. Now, if my pass ran over to one more day, I would have been able to see this film on Netflix. So, oh well. It's a marketing ploy, that I'm sure will pay off. And it might be worth another month, I don't know. So that's a shame, but there you have it. Right, so now I haven't had any, I don't know what time it is. I'm supposed to have, I thought I was going to break at 6, but then I was so near the end that I carried on, and now it's, last time I looked it was 10 to 7, and the time now is 27 past 7, and my stomach's rumbling. I haven't had any chili con carne yet, so that's the first thing I'm going to do, is open a can of C.